Hey, beautiful collective. Welcome to the channel. Ascend with me, Tarot. My name is Dawn. If you'll notice, I have some cards laid out here. I was sitting here getting into a reading about the collective and just the direction that we're going in is what I was asking for. And this is what I've gotten so far. But Spirit wanted me to stop and share this with the collective. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to jump right in, okay? Thank you guys for being here. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. If you're returning, thank you so much for your support. I love you guys. All right, so anyways, the first cards that I started with was my own deck. And what came out was past life. Past life reading is what this says. And then also new start. You earned it, collective. So I feel like what this is saying is this is the past life. This cycle is the cycle that you're putting behind you or that we're putting behind us. And this is the cycle of our new start, okay? The overall energies of it all, which I love, is the very first card came out was Divine Love, Contentment, and Solo Journey, okay? What I'm getting from that is just, being powerful, right? Spirit's like standing in this power of divinity, being content within your own self, along your journey, right? Being content in this journey as this being solo, right? Being sovereign, I'm hearing. Okay, being content with your journey, knowing that it's all divine love, right? Anyways, we'll get back to that in just a minute, but let's go ahead and start with this past life cycle. So to clarify the past life cycle, we have the end of a tough cycle approaches. Okay, so the end of a tough cycle is approaching, and the energies to clarify the tough cycle came out. We've got impression, detoxification, and energy exchange. Okay. So in regards to this, what I'm getting is, the end of a tough cycle. The tough cycle of our impression, I'm getting like perception, beliefs, right? The things that have been impressed upon us by the world that we grew up in, right? By the matrix perspective of life and things, right? The end of a tough cycle. So the end of moving and exchanging energy with one another and with the world around us based on like a deficit, right? Toxicity. But what I'm getting is like, energy exchange. It's like there's always a deficit. One person's always taking energy, right? One person's the one that's given, one person's the one that's taking in these exchanges. Okay? I don't know. This is what they're telling me. We're learning a new way. The divine love, the divine way, okay? Where it's not an exchange that's toxic anymore, that leaves you lacking, okay? That's the cycle that's coming to an end, where we were exchanging energies with one another in a way where it's like that mentality of taking and giving. There is no taking and giving. There's this new cycle that we're stepping into, this solo journey type cycle, that where we're content. Our source is the divine. There's no deficit in energy or anything that you need when your source is the divine, when you're in this sovereign energy, content in this sovereign energy, taking only from the divine. All things come to you that are given to you are given to you by the divine, right? So it's not like you're out here having to compete for energy source, right? Compete for energy exchange. You're no longer going to settle or accept the toxic exchanges. You're no longer going to settle for or accept the impressions that want to condition you and make you complacent, right? This is what we've been dealing with in our past lives. Okay, the new start that we've earned, this one says it's a time to give rather than take, right? So when you're in this energy where you're sovereign and you're content in this divine love, this divine energy, your energy is always in an exchange with the divine's energy, right? You can freely give, right? It's not this toxic exchange over here. It's not a deficit type exchange. You know, you can give freely without worrying about your energy, without worrying about what you're going to lose, right? Or your energy being taken, because it's automatically going to be replenished when you're connected to source, and your energetic source is only the divine source. You're in your contentment. You're okay on your solo journey. You're not accepting toxic exchanges. Then anything that comes across your path, anything that you give, you give freely. Anything that you accept freely, right? There is no competition there. There is no hidden motives, right? Because it's all coming from the divine. This is the new cycle. I don't know, y'all. I know I'm trying to explain this the best I can. I'm still learning and trying to get this right in my mind. So I'll explain it the best I can. So this new cycle, okay, comes with preparedness, slowing down, and searching. Okay, now these are fallen under. So preparedness is fallen under the impression energy. So basically, this impression energy of the past is what's prepared us. Okay, for the new start. It's what's prepared us to understand what it means to be a divine being who's in the world giving divine energy that we've received directly from the divine source. Okay? You, my sweetheart, I'm hearing you, my sweetheart, you are connected into the divine source. You will never ever face an energetic deficit again. Okay, you will never lack anything that you need. It's at the tip of your fingertips. They're telling me it's literally magic. Okay, but it's divine. It's divine energy. It's a vibration. It's a frequency. It's being able to tap into that ether, right, and pull out of the energy, the source, what you need when you need it, so you can freely give to those that are put on your path without anything, expecting anything in return. You don't give to get, right? But see, the old way, a lot, I'm not, our collective don't do this. I don't think our collective does this, right? But the people we've come across, okay, that want to only give something if they can get something in return, or they only come and be in relationships with us in the past because they thought they could get over on us or take something from us, drain our energy, drain our resources, drain our heart energy, whatever it was, that toxic way of exchanging energy, right? We never have to worry about that again, Spirit's saying. That's slowing down. That toxic energy is slowing down, okay, in this new cycle. And then as far as the energy exchanges, searching. I'm going to see what this is, but what I'm kind of getting for this in the new cycle is you're a fisher of men, I'm hearing, okay? Where before, you know, the way we were perceiving energy exchange, the way we were, you know, linking up with one another, right? The way we were perceiving relationship, it there was no way it could have ever been a balanced exchange, because when we were asleep in the world, when we weren't getting our energy directly from source, if you're not getting this energy from a place of peace and contentment, from a place of us being a sovereign being able to tap into source, if you're not getting your energy from the source, then anytime you're having an energetic exchange like in the past, there's always going to be a deficit. Okay, so in the future, what I'm getting, you're fisher of men. You can, it's like you don't have to go out searching to be filled. You don't have to go out searching for those to fill up. It's all about magnetism, I'm hearing. So it's about magnetism. It's about what is drawn to you. What can you draw to you? What's drawn to you is for you, okay? And there should be no fear in exchanging of energy. There should be no competitive energy. There should be no jealousy, no deficit, okay? In the new cycle is what I'm getting. Okay? So anyways, that's what I've got so far, but now let's get into the reading. All right, Spirit. I'm just going to add a few cards to each one of these and just kind of enhance what Spirit was telling me, see what else I can add to it. I explained it the best I could, but hopefully as we go through the reading, the cards will get a little bit clearer understanding of what I'm feeling here. All right, so the energies of the past around impression. Yeah, miracles. It says, have faith that your miracles they're on their way. Your prayers have been answered. Surrender the how. And if you'll notice that card of impressions, it's got footprints too. That reminds, like walking in Jesus's footprints, right? Walking in the footprints of our ancestors. Walking the shoreline. You're manifesting, you're expecting. You're not out here competing, right? Miracles are divine blessings, right? This isn't something that you have to go out here and fight to make happen. You can't make a miracle happen by competing, stealing, fighting, trying to overpower others, right? So the impression that the world has left on us is that we got to fight for things. We got to fight for energy. We got to fight for love. We got to fight for what's right, even. When it's not even about the fight of anything, it's about the expectations, okay? It's about the impression of expectations, of expecting the goodness, expecting the miracles, expecting the magic to be magical, expecting magic and miracles, and forget about the how, okay? The old impression was that we had to make things happen. The new impression is that miracles are divine blessings, and they're everyday occurrences. When you're in the right vibration, the right perspective, the miracles are literally like an everyday occurrence. If you have your light on, I'm hearing, but your eyes open, manifesting, right? What about detoxification? Wow. Yeah. Okay, so it's compassion versus strength. Right? We no longer have to manifest to overpower one another. The way to truly manifest in this energy of divine love, contentment, and sovereignty is through compassion. Look at those two horses. One's dark and one's light. Okay? So that's the old toxic way of doing things. There was like, this is the yin and the yang, right? The dark and the light. But there was conflict, duality to things, to the world. And so in between the duality is where all that toxic energy lived, and that's where like the light and the dark was trying to pick and pull and scrounge for it on their side, or their, you know what I'm saying? Like that's where the competition came in. But in a world of unity, of walking in divine love, divine grace, contentment, sovereignty, there's no need to have that energy in between. The energy is going to flow, right? Like the figure 8 they're showing me. Okay? There will be no energy there will be no room for this toxic exchange when we're walking in unity. Okay? When we're accepting the light and the dark, and they're working copacetically together. I'm hearing. This is the new cycle we're moving into, collective. We fought hard for this. You fought hard individually along your own spiritual path, right? But we've been fighting hard in the spiritual realm, energetically, spiritually, to manifest this in this day and age. Okay, so that old way is slowing down, and we're moving into a world where compassion rules. Okay, not strife, not competition, not overpowering one another, not leaving one or the other in an energetic deficit. Okay, there's enough to go around for everybody. There's no need for all of this competitive striving energy in the world. There's no need for it. There truly is no need when there's enough for everybody, when we work together, when we let the energy flow, right? When we share it freely and let it flow and trust in the divine, we are content as we're trusting in the divine source to always replenish all that we need. We don't have to go out here and compete with one another. Okay? It says, be gentle with yourself and others. Forgiveness will set you free. See the light in yourself and in others. And then strength is saying, this challenge will make you stronger. You will get through to the other side. Look for the gifts in this situation. So this was the toxic way, right? Having to learn the hard way, I'm hearing. Having to learn through all these challenges and hard experiences. This is the past life, right? We're moving out of duality, and we're moving into divine support collective. As we raise our vibration, as we raise our consciousness, as we learn to work together instead of compete, as we learn to get all energy that we need, all love, all understanding, everything that we need from the divine source and not from one another, as we learn to be filled up from the divine source instead of running out here trying to be filled up by another, right? That's when we're really going to truly like gain the true support, right? That's the issue. This is the issue with the past lives, is we've been trying to feel we had the impression that magic wasn't real, that miracles only existed some of the time, right? But maybe we were limiting ourselves because we were trying to fill ourselves up with one another, with one another's perceptions, one another's impressions, one another's dualities, one another's energies, when the whole time the only true support comes from being content in our sovereignty, in our solo journey with us and the divine, being in union with the divine and letting the divine be our source for all things instead of trying to fill ourselves up with one another. So there's a new understanding that we're being gifted in regards to like how to be filled up, how to, where does our true source come from? What is true source? What is healthy? What is unhealthy? We're blessed to be alive in this day and age, to be taught these truths, to be, shown these things. Tell me about energy exchange. Yeah, we're getting freedom from the old ways of energy exchange. This is the reading I'm getting. I'm not explaining it the best way, but I'm doing the best I can here, y'all. But this is what I'm getting. The old ways of exchanging energy, we've been granted access to the divine source. We've been granted freedom because we paid attention, because we've asked. Knock and you shall receive. Search and you'll find it, right? Knock on the door, it'll be open to you. Search and you shall receive. It says, live wild and free. Choose your freedom. Claim your independence. Okay? You can exchange energies with one another in a way that's not toxic, that's not trying to fill up one another, trying to take from one another, trying to overpower one another. Because when two people are coming together, only looking at what can we give one another instead of what can I take from you and what can, you know what I mean? Like, instead of looking at it as an exchange at all, okay, look at the act of coming together and doing for one another, exchange, having the love for one another. Look at it as an act of a divine miracle, a divine exchange, not an energy power exchange, not an exchange of You scratch my back, I scratch your back. When two people come together and they're both trying to decide, like, not what can I get from this person, but what can I give, because that person already knows that anything they get comes from divine source. So they're not coming into a relationship or another exchange with the person in the mind frame of, oh, I can get something from this, right? Because everything they need comes from the divine. So when they come into one another, okay, it's truly an energy of this, a time to give rather than receive. So we're being taught that when we depend on the divine for all things, all energy exchange, we can freely give to the world around us. Okay, we're out of the old toxic ways of exchanging. Oh, I wish I could explain this better. I'm getting frustrated because I want to explain this. I can feel it. I can see it and sense it inside me, y'all, but it's hard to put it into words. I don't know if I'm doing it justice, what I'm trying to explain here. I get frustrated when that happens, but I'll catch up to it later, I'm sure. So yeah, so we're getting a freedom in the way that we've been exchanging energies of the past. And the key to that freedom is the divine is your source for all things. So when you come into connection with another, you should not be in these connections trying to fill yourself up with what that person can offer. You look at that connection as what can you offer? What can you bring to it? What kind of love can you bring into a situation, right? You're not out here looking for someone to give you love. You're looking for someone that you can give your love to. The overflowing of the divine love that you receive from Source. How can you put that as a seed in the world instead of out here trying to fill yourself up with this person's love, that person's love, this person's, energy, or that person's energy, right? This person's validation, that person's validation. When all your love, your validation, your energy, your understandings, everything starts here. Starts here and ends here. And it fills you up in all ways. This is what we're being blessed with. This is what we're being taught. And as you learn that lesson of your source, I feel like you find that peace that Spirit's been talking about, that peace that surpasses all understanding, which is that energy of contentment. And you stand strong on your solo journey. It doesn't mean you're not going to exchange energy with one another. It just means you're sovereign. It's your energy that you receive is a sovereign energy that comes from the divine, from Source. Okay? So there's no need to come together with another person to get energy. You come together with one another to give energy to one another. Because it's overflowing in you abundantly because your source is the divine. Okay? This is what they're showing me. So tell me about preparedness. So these old impressions that miracles aren't an everyday occurrence and that magic isn't real. Some people know magic's real. Some people, think it's a bunch of hogwash. But I mean, let me just go on and tell you, the fact that you even exist in spirit and body and consciousness in a world that is ever expanding, that alone, that one truth alone proves that magic is real, right, collective? Okay, so magic is so real, and you are magical. The universe is magical. God is, the divine is magical. Everything is magical if you allow it to be magical, okay? We shouldn't be afraid of that. But the past impressions, okay, is what's preparing us for this new cycle. Prosperity, okay? So you've been prepared for true prosperity, divine prosperity, energetic prosperity, spiritual wealth, right? This isn't just money. This is an abundance of divine understanding, love, grace, energy, wisdom, the starfish energy, okay? It says a gift of money is on its way. Your income is increasing. Manage your finances with love. So this is saying money, right? Love, money. This is saying income, money. But think of this in what we were just talking about if you're talking energy. So a gift of energy is on its way. Your energy is increasing. Manage your energy with love, right? So when you're managing it with love, because your source is divine love, and that gives you all that you need, right? When you're managing it with love, that means you're letting love lead the way in all your interactions with one another. You're giving instead of looking for something, right? You already have all that you need from your source, your connection to source. So when you're out here exchanging with one another in the world, you're a giver and not a taker. And you're not one of the, like before I woke up to this, like this, what we're talking about, I would get so drained. Like Spirit was saying, don't overgive. Don't, be careful with your energy, and you got to protect your energy. And that's true. When you're in that system of giving and taking, right? When your source, when your energy is filled up by the world that you're exchanging it with, that's all true. But when you get this understanding, this lesson that your true energy is replenished by source, and it's always constantly being replenished, when you're in that alignment, you're never going to have a deficit of energy. You're always going to have enough to give, and you won't experience that energetic deficit, that draining thing, right? Is what they're showing me here. I'm sure, we'll still, do things to protect our energetic field from those who aren't in alignment with this understanding yet, but they can't truly take anything from you because you're constantly being replenished by the divine. It's like becoming a vessel of the divine to manifest the divine in all your connections. So what's slowing down is this toxic energy, this energy of duality, competition, struggle. Okay, that's what's slowing down. What's replacing that old energy? Gentleness and patience. Patience and gentleness, okay? I love how they pulled two and now they got two again. And I don't know, let's just read them. Gentleness says, be kind to yourself and others. Honor your gentleness. Speak words of love. So this is you being on your solo journey. So you're not just gentle with others, but you're gentle with yourself too. You're not trying to protect yourself in a defensive way because you know that you're always replenished with source. But at the same time, you have that that's why they've been teaching us boundaries, I guess, right? You know how to have gentle boundaries, they're saying. And patience, right? You're not in a rush. You're not out here waiting to be filled up by another. You're waiting for the divine to always replenish you. You're waiting for the divine to always, show you what is your next miracle, what is your manifestation. Like you can patiently expect the answer. You ask and you shall receive, but you have to patiently, gently wait for it, right? Let me see, what does this say? It says, pause before you take action. Trust that divine timing is at work. Be patient and play while you wait, right? You don't have to be stressed, trying to compete and worry, right? It's like you just expect that everything is handled. Okay, you can slow down your life in time. I'm hearing your time might even slow down for you, collective, when you get in this energy, they're telling me. When you can be gentle and patient instead of in the energy of duality and filling yourselves up with one another, competing and things like that. So what are we searching for? So searching. What is searching talking about here, Spirit? What is searching, please? Yeah, searching through your past lives. Wow, and that's what we started with, was past lives, and we're ending with this past lives. Let's read this. It says, release your past life karma. You are an old soul with deep wisdom. Healing your past healing your past lives will raise your vibration. So yeah, so instead of searching for energetic exchange, competition, duality, right? the trying to live in the world of the past here, the past impressions where we were competing for energy, and just allowing our mind to expand on what it means to exchange energy with the world around you, right? that that's instead of searching, and I don't know, it's like really using your past life's experiences and the past impressions that you've already ended, that you've already gone through, like really taking that wisdom and integrating that wisdom and using that wisdom to strengthen your bond with divine love, strengthen your bond with patience and trust and you know magic, contentment, being okay on a solo journey, but being sovereign, right? Doesn't mean you're going to be alone and you're only walking alone in the world. It means you don't need another being to be your highest vibrational self, right? So release the karma, release your karma, and then release those who owe you a karmic debt, even, right? Even like that reading I did earlier, that I was picking up about the warlocks and the family and all that. Like, even with your family, the best thing you can do is release them with love. Okay, don't hold them. It's like if you try to hold them into like a past life, like they need their karma, and you're trying to like even have any part of what's going on with them karmically, that's going to hold you to that cycle too. Just release it. Trust in divine timing, trust in divine justice. Divine is in control, right? Give forgiveness, spirit saying, and focus on your own personal past life, your own personal lessons. Step into a leadership role, okay? Step into your leadership, share your message, inspire and empower others. So use your past life cycles and the things you've learned and the karmic debts that you've paid, and the just everything. Share it all. Share it all. It might not sound right at the time, and you might be stumbling over your words trying to explain certain things like I am right here. But you have a knowingness. You have an inner knowingness of your journey, okay? Of what is correct and what is divine versus what is incorrect, what is karmic, what is oppressive, right? Share every part of your journey. Share your lessons, share your experiences. This is how you be a leader, okay? Share what you've learned and apply it to the world around you, is what I'm hearing. And then dance. Have fun. Life is a dance. Life is a beautiful mess. Life is a dance, Spirit's saying, okay? So we've earned this new cycle. The new cycle is a new way to look at our past life experiences. This blessing that we're receiving, this miracle, is a new perspective, a higher perspective of the world around us, of energetic exchange. We are now free from that energetic exchange that left us feeling in that energy of someone being in a deficit of energy, right? Like, we're free of that because we have been granted this understanding, or maybe it's just an access. I mean, I think we've always had access to this divine source, but I think you have to have like the understanding to access it. You haven't ever been cut off from source, but you have to understand that source is all there is, right? And you've got to like gain a higher perspective when it comes to relationship, and Spirit wants us to be peaceful and content and sovereign in our own energy, and to basically, when we come into connection with one another, don't be in connection trying to fill yourself up or receive love or receive from another person, okay? Because remember, everything you need to receive comes from the divine. So when you're in connection with another, truly show up and be love, and look at the situation as, what can you offer? What can you offer? What can you lovingly offer to all your situations? And don't worry about doing without. Don't worry about over giving. Okay, you know about strong boundaries. okay? You know about gentleness. You know about compassion. And so anytime you're giving from a place of true love, like a space of true, no malicious energy, no ulterior motives, right? When you're truly giving from a space of divine love, then you're always going to be replenished. You're never going to go without, Spirit's telling me. Okay? So if you're giving to a situation and you start feeling like it's an energetic exchange that tends to deplete you, then maybe check your own motives and make sure that you're showing up in that situation where you're being replenished strictly from the divine, and you're not looking to that person, right, to be the one to give you something in return, right, to give you love or whatever it may be. I'm still figuring this out, but this is what they're showing me. Okay, so when you're approaching relationships as this perspective, and you're truly there just trying to give from a pure space, a pure loving space, then you never have to worry about being drained. But so if you start feeling like an energetic deficit, then instead of checking the other person, yeah, put your boundaries up, because you should never be drained. If it's a draining situation, then you need to create space always, Spirit's taught me. But you also need to check yourself and make sure that, you're not slipping into like trying to put that person in your life where like the divine source belongs, right? I hope that's making sense. I wish I could explain this better. But anyways, let me get one more on the past life. We're going to pull one of these for each book. Tell me something about the past life energy. Yeah, taking shelter. The answers are within. Everything you need to know are within you, collective, okay? It's time for us to come home, I'm hearing. So take shelter from the past. You've always been sheltered through it all. You've always been sheltered, okay? And you'll continue to be sheltered. So the answers that you're seeking are within you. Yeah, you're always going to be protected by angels, and you're moving into the new cycle, right? So protected by angels, you are cherished by angels. Grace and gratitude, you can walk by grace and gratitude. Through gratitude, joy expands, and it's okay to be in this energy of solitude, right? Solitude. In silence, peace prevails. Okay, and discovering, that's where you're going to discover the truth, okay, the divine truths. You stand in the light of truth, okay, so I don't know, guys. I mean, I know there's these twin flame journey. We have our twin flame journey. We have our soulmate connections. We have all of this stuff that we want to concentrate so much on, but why are we so obsessed with those contracts? Because we're out here looking for a return, right? If you think about it, it's an energetic exchange. When you get into these contracts, you're looking for a return. Me personally, I'm ready to step outside of the contracts, because I've never gotten the return that I was looking for, because I was looking in the wrong spot, right? Spirit's teaching me to stop looking in another for that return, and to truly start here and end here. The Alpha and the Omega, I'm hearing. So divine love, divine source. And in the times of solitude, be content, be at peace. Go within. Find your answers, okay? Take the times of solitude to discover inner truths, okay? And just surrender to the journey along the way. Travel lightly, okay? Travel lightly. Simplify your life. Release control. You stand in the light of truth, right? And whenever it's time to have an energetic exchange, when it's time to be in a contract, when it's time to, come off the solo journey every once in a while, be the teacher, be the leader as you come into these contracts. Be the one that's coming into the contracts that's being replenished by the divine, so that you're truly stepping into all your contracts as the teacher, as the guide, and so you're stepping in with what can you give. You're not looking to be filled up or fulfilled by another person or by a soulmate or a twin flame or anything. You're stepping into these contracts as a teacher, as a guide, as a giver, because you know and you trust that all that you need and all that really truly fills you up comes from this energy, the starfish. the divine love, the source. I think that's the new perspective, the new impression, the understanding that we are moving towards when it comes to how we move among the world with one another. This is how we're going to get out of that energy of conflict and strife and competition and energetic deficits and vampires and narcissism energies and all of that. It's being worked its way. It's being worked out, guys. It truly is. God's in control. It's almost like we have to experience the worst of the worst before we realize, okay, God, we didn't really want that, right? He shows us, do you really want that? He tells us, do you really want to get your sustenance from one another instead of from me? Okay, well, let me put y'all in these contracts. Let y'all do the number on one another until you turn back and you see the truth. You discover the truth that was always here and you always had access to, right? But first he lets us go through the worst of the worst and see what we don't want, so we'll turn and see what was always there for us, and we'll understand how important and why it's so important to do it God's way, you know? We have a loving, teaching God, and I'm grateful for that. But yeah, so this is a new start for us. But yeah, I'm going to get off here. I'm babbling, and I don't even know if this is making sense. It's making sense to me as I'm speaking on it. Like I said, I know I could probably explain it a little bit better, but we're going to pull one more actually to close it out, Spirit. Maybe sometimes when I'm struggling to explain something, I'll pull from these cards and it'll explain exactly what I was trying to explain. So let's just see. Father, can you come through for me? Okay. We have love, abundance, and independence again. So we're going to, okay, let's read these. And divine timing on the bottom. So just take it how it resonates. So love says it's not about, I just said this, okay, this is what I was trying to explain. It says it's not about finding love, you are love itself, right? It's about what can you give, not what you can take, okay? It says, help me, Lord, to send so much compassion and caring to the inner child that I always remember I myself am love. So this is that energy I was trying to explain, okay? The next one says abundance. Divine beloved, please show me how to feel fully deserving to receive. I release my ego's plan and open to being a vehicle for abundance. That's right. Now you're a vehicle for divine energy, divine miracles, a divine worker in the world. You're a giver, right? And that opens you up to abundance. Your contentment, your peace is what opens you up to being able to receive, they're telling me. And then, yes, about the solo journey, the independence. Let's see. It says, the more you learn to feed yourself, that was what I was saying, to feed yourself on the inside and care for the inner child, the more freestanding you become, the more sovereign, right? The more sovereign you become because you're not looking to be filled up from something outside of yourself. Okay? Help me feed and love this inner child, dear Lord. So you're dependent on source and not another, and that's why this independence energy keeps coming up. It's true independence. Divine timing. The divine brings things in the timing that we need. Nothing comes before we're prepared, nor leaves too early. May I always trust your perfect and holy timing, dear Lord. That's why we can just travel lightly, right? Just trust that everything, when it's there, it's needed to be there in our life. When things are not in our life anymore, when things are being removed from our life, it's meant to be removed. Like we can flow, we can trust, we can release the control, we can surrender to the journey and release the control and just trust. Be content in all parts of life. It's doable, collective. It really is doable. Okay? It's a process, and we're not going to get it right every time, but just to have the awareness of this, I think is very important. Just the knowingness, the understanding of how it really is going to be working or meant to work in regards to being in alignment with the divine frequency, right? I don't know, but all right. I love you guys so much. Have a wonderful night. Please like, share, or subscribe. Bye.